and subscribing as well, because I'm so close to 5k and I would really like to hit that before the end of the year, and I hope you guys enjoy. I've got this iPad in front of me. Oh my god, can you hear my mum blowing her nose? This is actually my light source right now. I also have another light. It's just like an LED light. Like a little, no it's not. Wait, is that classed as an LED light? Like the circle ring lights that's just sat on my bed. Because I did have my big light on, but it looked too bright. And it makes terrible lighting. Like terrible. It shines right on my hair and makes my hair look all frizzy. Just got this iPad right here in front of me. Oh no, I'm moving the image. I went to Prague a couple of weeks ago. I really recommend Prague. Like, see if you're looking for like a place to go with like your friends, it's like a really good place to go, or like a couple's holiday would be really nice. The only negative is that everywhere outside closes after 10. That's like, which I guess it really depends on what type of holiday you want, because obviously I was there with my friends and we were like drinking at night, and we're from Scotland, so it's like we never really get a chance to like drink outside late at night, so that was what we wanted to do there, because it was like really warm. But sadly everything closes after 10 p.m. outside, so you have to go inside, which isn't the end of the world, but it did kind of suck because we wanted to stay outside because it was warm. It was still warm at night, and there's just something about drinking outside. Wait, excuse me. There's just something about drinking outside in another country, like sitting with like a little glass of wine or your cocktail, and like people are having fags, and you know, and then like you don't get that when you're inside. But it's whatever. If that doesn't bother you too much, I would suggest that you go. Also, that wasn't like an actual real burp, by the way. I have this thing where I can't burp. I can't remember what it's called, but basically my throat, like I just can't burp, so I build up all this air that gets trapped in my chest until like it's really painful, and then it like comes out my mouth and like croaks. It's like a croak rather than a burp. It's very annoying. Also with Prague, we went from the Sunday to the Friday. So that was Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we went for 5 nights in total. I would say that's definitely like enough for like a city. I feel like that's like enough. I feel like we saw what we wanted to see and like done everything that we wanted to do within like the 5 days. I personally am not the biggest fan of like glass ASMR. Okay, don't do that. I'm gonna fucking choke to death. That kind of made a cool noise though, but I feel like that's so hard to do without feeling like you're gonna choke. I can't like see if I type on it on the table, it like just makes, I feel like it makes the table move, and cause my mic's all of Europe and not the entire world. But it's a really tall cinema. And we were watching the new horror movie Weapons. It's actually so scary. Like, it's not as much about I'd say there is a couple of jump scares. I think like 4 or something. It's more just like the actual, like the story and like the vibe, like the atmosphere and the way it makes you feel is like so eerie and like creepy. Like it's just it really creeps you out. Like it makes me feel like it made me feel really like eerie and creepy. Like, do you know what I mean? Rather than just like jump scare, you know. But see, there's like security on that cinema. There's none. There's actually no security whatsoever. We could have just walked straight into the cinema and not paid because there was no one to check our tickets or anything. Like, we could have just walked in there and watched the movie for free. It made me feel like actually a little bit unsafe because it felt like there's so many teenagers in a cinema. Like there was so many like teenagers there and like kind of like teenage boys that looked like they would like cause trouble, and there was like no staff, like incredibly understaffed for how huge that cinema is. Like there was only staff at like the food bits. Like that was it. Like you could have just walked in, see, because your tickets are on your phone as well nowadays. It's like you literally you don't have to go and like get the ticket printed off or whatever. Like you literally just we just walked straight in, and it made me feel unsafe because I was like, anyone could be in this cinema with us right now, like, because there's no security or anyone to check that everyone in here is actually here to watch the movie. We were one of like the first people, me and my boyfriend were like one of the first people to go in there, and then there was like this other